Maja John Madden with a longer version of my rant about my old friend, Johanna, who I loved. We knew each other real closely from church because we were on a team at church that was all about community life, and it was about how to help people be human with each other. So we were doing important work there. And their family adopted me as a part of their family, and I spent holidays with them. At a time in my life when I really still believed I had bipolar disorder and was wrestling with such demons. They weren't my demons, they were demons that got inflicted on me by the psychiatry profession. So I've been traveling for 3 years now, and I haven't seen her. She's back in Asheville, North Carolina, where I used to live. But on her birthday, somehow I saw a Facebook announcement that it was her birthday. I made her a 10-minute video. It was a really emotionally generous video, and it said, here's where I am right now, and here's what's going on for me. I'm awesome. I love being in Mexico. And I just want to tell you, I loved you. You know, I was so grateful to you. Your family was so good to me at a really dark time in my life. And thank you. Thank you. You got me through. I'm not sure I would have lived because I was suicidal from having been diagnosed as bipolar. Yeah, the violent act of the psychiatry is an example of her, really. It's the whole middle class thing of laying judgments on people, and that's what psychiatry does. They have these labels that are so cruelly, viciously damaging to people to be told you're a broken person, and here's the name will apply to you, bipolar disorder, as if they had any idea what that meant. All it says is you have ups and downs, which everybody has ups and downs, but I had big ones. But the truth was, I had big ups, and there was the psychiatrist at that one particular moment in my life, because so many things had gone wrong. I was emotionally suffering, but it hadn't always been true that I get depressed after being up. No, what was true that I had big energy surges, and I'm an ecstatic person. I go into ecstasy. I do. And I'd be tired. I'd be exhausted. But it was only after they labeled me as being mentally ill, being a psychologist myself, so ironic, and one who in grad school had fought diagnoses so terribly because we were student radicals and we saw through that bullshit. So, yeah, it was a really, really hard time for me. And I spent holidays with them, and I was a long ways from family, and it was great. It really helped. And I liked her. We had a fun friendship. We kind of played together, and we both smoked. She was trying to quit smoking, but she'd come grab a smoke from me, and we'd have a little powwow, because that's what smokers do. They have a little powwow, and it's a great way. It can be a really great way to get together. I still love doing that with smokers. So I sent her this really lovely, lovely video, and I did not expect her to get back to me because she had heaped some pretty vitriolic middle-class crap on me when I changed so much, when I became so alternative, when I started traveling full-time and living in a camper van, which horrifies middle-class people. So I didn't expect to hear back from her, but I did. And we had a pretty good text exchange. Now, text exchange does not fit my definition of a good conversation at all, because that requires hot, medium, back and forth. And texting, by definition, you can't do that. So it wasn't great, and along the way, she reminded me of why I had given up on her years ago. About a year into my traveling, when I was describing really in a vulnerable and excited and proud way about how my life had changed, she said, sounds pretty irresponsible to me. Now, irresponsible and inappropriate are two flags of the middle class. Those are words, middle class, because they can't be pinned down. I mean, what does it mean, really? Who was I not being responsible? You know, there wasn't anybody I wasn't meeting my responsibilities to. I was just in my 70s choosing to travel instead of living in an apartment like a normal middle-class person would be. But she said, that's irresponsible. And if I'd been sharp, I might have said, can you define for me what irresponsible means? Like, what responsibilities am I not meeting? The other one is inappropriate. Oh, that was inappropriate. That's so subjective. And it's middle class people throw those two. Anytime, if you hear someone use one of those two words, go, alarm, alarm. I better stand back, protect myself a little, because this is someone who loves to judge people. And the middle class, it's a curse of the middle class because they've just gotten out of poverty. They're afraid of sliding back, keep up with the Joneses, look good by all means. And they compete because it's like, am I doing better? How am I doing? How do I compare with that person? It's such a trap. It's a terrible way to live. It's a poison. It's a poison. And because I hadn't really understood that, and because I was so beaten down from the whole psychiatry thing, I had not seen it in her before. But when she said that thing to me a couple of years ago, I went, oh, fuck, look at this. That's where she comes from. And in the course of this text messaging a couple of nights ago, I was describing how my son won't talk to me anymore because he's just reinvented the story of our relationship where I'm suddenly a bad parent and he had always adored me. And I was just sharing that with her, and she said in a text, she says, well, there was a whole period there where you were pretty much an asshole towards him. And I went, fuck, where did this come from? Because it's certainly not true. And she had never said that to me. She was carrying that this whole time. The entitled, I'm middle class, so I'm entitled to judge everybody else. It's so sick. But it's thick. It's thick. Middle class lifestyle and consciousness is full of that. But we were supposedly really good friends, you know, and I had been so grateful to her for being such a good friend. And there she was for years. I don't know how many years it was. Going, yeah, well, he's kind of an asshole. But, you know, we feel sorry for him, and well, he can be a lot of fun. And I went, oh, fuck. Do you really want to open up a friendship? Do you want to try to have dialogue with someone who's so capable of just cutting you off at the kneecaps, or deciding all the ways you're invalid, basically deciding you're invalid? So I wrote her and said, you know, I was excited about getting back to you, but here's why I'm not. And here's where I just can't picture it working. And I want to give you one chance, basically. I said, if you want to try to be friends, because I saw no sign that she had, because I had dropped big clues about how much I had changed. Like, I'm never having an unhappy day, and I'm just all full of love all the time. I mean, I have a beatific life, basically. I do. It's just true. But she didn't respond to any of that. No. She said, well, it sounds like you're happy in Mexico. I'm glad. That's good. God only knows what other judgments she still had. So I said that. I said, I don't think you've updated your files about me. I have found over the course of 4 years since I had my big spiritual experience that it's the people who have known me the longest that just can't update their files. They can't get it. I'm a brand new person. So radically different. It's a discontinuous life. I just, boom, just changed like that. I did. I'm happy all the time, and I'm loving her all the time. I can be angry, like I'm fucking angry at her. Yeah. So I said, if you want to try to update your files, because I'm not going to try to educate you about all the changes. I'm over that. No, I'm not going to invest my good energy trying to convince somebody who's cynical or skeptical. But I have this series of 4 videos, and I'll put links to those. 4 videos that I made in the course of an afternoon outside of Victoria, Mexico, several months ago. It was March, or April, the first month I'd been in Mexico, like all of a month. And they're very succinct, and they describe what my last 4 years have been like. And I'm a good storyteller, and smart, and so it's good. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. And I said, if you want to invest 40 minutes to watch these videos with an open mind, with an eye towards dialogue, dialogue, because she had never dialogued with me about my parenting. She had never bothered to dialogue with me about my travels before she just, boom, oh, irresponsible, fuck you, you're an asshole. It was another form of you're an asshole. Without even inquiring at all about where I was coming from and what was it like for me. And no. So I said, if you are willing from a place of inquiry, genuine curiosity, watch it with Tom, because Tom always liked me, or with your sons, they knew me, or your sister-in-law, sister and brother-in-law, they knew me. Sit and watch it and talk about it. Maybe you could catch on. Maybe you could get over your notion that you know me, because you don't. You don't. So I said, if you want to do that, then we could talk. And I basically, I didn't say, you're not going to do that. There's no way you'll invest the energy, because you don't want to change your mind about me, and it's going to piss you off that I even suggested. How dare he? So good. I'm done with her. And that was my sense of, you knew it wasn't worth it, but you tried because you loved her. And I said in the video, once you love someone, you'll love them forever. And I do, but I sure am not going to invest any of my good life energy dealing with a bitch like that. No. No. Yeah, I'm not even going to invest any more of my talking energy late at night when I should be sleeping. I want to be sleeping. But no, it's good to get that off my chest. Okay, bye.